That's a look at the Cars classic, You're All I've Got Tonight. And what you saw there at the beginning was my original concert ticket from September 1978 when my sister took me to see the Cars at Providence College. Thank you, Liz. And thanks to Elliot Easton, because I was standing 10 feet in front of him, right up against the stage. Blew my mind. Amazing guitar player. And what we're going to be looking at is a couple of clips from that song that make sense, right? If you've watched my lessons, you know that's kind of the whole point of them. I want to show you licks in context that make sense so that you can understand them and play other songs using them, not just play one song. So You're All I've Got Tonight has a really simple chord progression. We basically got a lot of B major, and then You're All I've Got Tonight just goes back and forth between G and A major, Rick playing bar chords and Elliot playing open position with some little fills. Okay, the main lick alternates between an E, right, the A shape of an E chord up here at the 7th fret, and your B chord of the E shape. And then you just walk it up, A major, A sharp, B. And you might play it easier depending on how you want. You saw I was playing at the beginning just pieces of it. Double stops. On 4 and 5, and then 3 and 4 to 4 and 5 there at the 9th fret. Very simple. Play it however it's comfortable for you. Okay, so that's essentially the chord progression. The first solo, which is what I showed you there at the beginning, alternates between that G major and that A major. So what does Elliot Easton do is he plays licks over a G chord and licks over an A chord directly out of those chord shapes. Again, we're talking about the E or F shape of a G chord and an A chord. Now if you look online, you'll see some tabs of people playing it here, which is great, it's wonderful, and you should learn it, but that's not how he plays it. Here on YouTube, there's live versions from 1978 and like 2011 or something pretty recent. And both times he's playing it down here on the first 3 strings. So what does that look like? He kind of slides into it off the 6th fret, just a little flash there, and then open G string, slide from 2 to 4 on the 3rd string. Right, that should look like your G chord because that's what we're playing out of. That's why it makes sense. So again, open, slide from 2 to 4, 3 to 5 on the 2nd string. Then the chord shifts to an A chord. So what does he do? He goes. It's just walking up the A major pentatonic scale. Slide from 4 to 6 on the 3rd string, and then 5, 7, 5, 7, bend. Okay, couldn't be easier. And then he goes back to the G. So you're essentially repeating the G and A licks. Instead of going up to the bend there, he goes, point is bend that 4th fret 3rd string, and then he walks down 2, 1, open to get back to the G. So, first time a bend, second time. And then the 3rd time. Exactly like the 2nd, and he ends it with. So we're at 9th fret, we're playing those harmonized 6ths that we've looked at so many times. So we're at the 9th fret, 3rd and 1st strings. And just sliding 9, 10, 11. What you want to do is have whichever finger you're playing the top one with. It can be like this or like this. I usually play it like this with the middle finger on top. Whichever finger you're fingering the 3rd string with, you want to lay it over the 2nd string to mute it. Okay? Now why would he do this? Well, the chord progression is doing this. To get back to the B, so he goes, what is that? That's your D shape of an A chord, right? 2nd string root. So he goes A sharp, B. At the same time Rick is going A sharp, B. This is why the licks make sense, right? It's a really cool punctuation to add the to end the solo on, right? And now we're hanging on a B chord, and he goes. So you're going to bar 4, 3, 2 at the 7th fret, and you're going to do a little trill hammer on there with your middle finger on the 8th fret middle 3rd string. So you're in the key of B, or you're in over a B major chord. You're trilling between the minor 3rd and the major 3rd. I've shown you this on many occasions. This is just an incredibly common thing to do in rock, pop, and blues, right? It's that tension between the minor and the major 3rd. So, and then that bit I showed you at the beginning of the lesson. All right, so that's the first solo. I'm going to throw in a couple bonus licks here. He does this really cool, leading into the solo, again over the B, the main solo, the longer solo that comes after the one I just showed you. That solo is literally just hanging over a B major chord and Elliot going sick over it. Mostly B major and minor pentatonics, but what I wanted to show you first is he leads into it with this. Something like that. The tabs don't exactly agree. There's some tabs that show it going. I don't think he plays that middle note at the 8th fret. But anyway, it's kind of a Jimmy Page-ish thing. It reminds me of the Page thing in the break-in What Is and What Should Never Be, which I did a lesson on many years ago, which I'll link at the end, and you'll see what I mean. But anyway, 7 to 9 on the 5th string, 7 on the 4th string, and then just you're barring 4, 3, 2 there, which is essentially a A-shaped D chord, right? And then same thing at the 9th fret, and he kind of goes off it a little bit there with the 10th fret, and then the second time wiggles it, kind of like Chuck Berry was so famous for doing. So that might not be exact, but play around with it. It's very cool. You can listen to it. If you choose to do it with the lead in like this, I don't know. I'm not sure. Play it either way. See which way you prefer it. That was rough, but you get the idea. And then there's a piece at the end of the solo I want to show you. Remembering that the solo is over a B chord, the long solo. So this is our A-shaped B chord down here at the 2nd and 4th frets. So you should know from all the lessons that we've done that you have your B major pentatonic extension that you can slide into and do all those Hendrixy double stops and things that we've done. So that's where he goes at the end of the solo. So he goes. So that should look kind of similar to you to what we did over the G and over the A, except he starts in this box, so we're on 4 and 6, 4th and 3rd strings. And then he just goes into that exact E or F shape box that we played here and we played here, with the exact same bend that he did over the A chord at the 7th fret earlier, okay? So, and then the second time he goes, just some bends there at the 3rd string, 6th fret. The 3rd time he bends that 9th fret, 2nd string all the way up to the B note. It's a 1.5 step bend, which is kind of unusual. So you have to really reef it to get it up there, but the point is you're bending it up to the tonic note, the 1, which you're over a B chord, so he's bending it up to a B note, right? You want it to match that note. That was probably rough, but that's the idea. And then the last time, something like that. He trails off all the way down so he can get to the "You're All I've Got Tonight," over which he does that similar bend we just did here over a B chord, over an A chord, 3rd string. It's just a classic bend over a major chord like that. So B chord, A chord, and then back. You're all I've got tonight, and then I need you, and then we're back there. Grab bag there of licks that make sense from Elliot Easton of the Cars, who has been known to play a Telecaster, but in more recent years has a Gibson SG signature model that is truly a work of art. All right, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.